Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Creations, and I'm back with a new video. These are my Goodreads Choice Awards 2025 predictions. So I did this last year by myself. I did all 15 categories or 16, whatever, because we know they sometimes change year to year. However, this year I have friends. I've had friends before, but this year I have friends who are helping me out, who are also participating in this. And what we did is basically what I did last year, which was pull a card for each of the finalists in all of the categories. But since there are 3 of us, we split it up so that each of us are doing 5 categories. So some of these you've seen me do, and others you've not seen me do. I just got so tired after editing the first video, I did not upload the second one, even though I pulled cards for all of those. And I didn't do a wrap up or anything. Seeing how my predictions worked with who actually won. But introducing my friends, my co-hosts, my partners in crime, there is Brittany from Cosmic Lunar Soul and Robin from Robin's Reflections. Links to their channels down below. Go check them out. They will have their own videos with 5 different categories and their own decks and their own predictions. Let's see who between the 3 of us gets the most right. I don't know. It's not a competition. But it is a fun time. If you are a reader and you've used Goodreads and even taken a glance at the Goodreads Choice Awards, let alone voted, you know that 1, it is a popularity contest, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but unlike most other bookish awards, it is completely voted on by mass readers and people who don't always read all the books in each category will vote. And those books that are the most popular are the ones that get chosen to even be nominees, let alone finalists. Again, none of this is necessarily a bad thing, but it's good to be aware of it going into Goodreads Choice Awards, right? You will also may or may not be aware, but we start out with 15 nominees for each category, and then the finalists are narrowed down to 10. So that is going to be, for each category that I have here, 10 cards I pull for each. And asking the question, what do the Goodreads voters think of this book? And then from there, trying to figure out which one, based on those feelings, will be the winner. Okay, we're gonna start off with the first category I have, which is actually young adult fiction. These are all the book covers, and the deck I'm using is the Buffy Tarot. Alright, I've picked the cards for all of the categories ahead of time. I haven't done any, like, divination or interpreting. So, the first book is The Thrashers by Julie Soto, which got a King of Chalices. Then I'm Not Jessica Chen by Anne Liang at 3 of Chalices, so we're feeling emotional. Overall, whether in control or a reminder, the question is, how does the voters in the Goodreads Choice Awards feel about each book? And I'm guessing pretty strong contender from the Thrashers, and the Three of Chalices feels like a group project. Maybe not enough people feel strongly about I Am Not Jessica Chen. The third book is Dating and Dragons, which is part of a series, and that is by Christy Boyce. This is the second book in the gaming and romance series. It's got the star, so very hopeful, but maybe like they've gotta put in some serious work to get that to win. The fourth book is You've Found Oliver. This is also part of a series. You've Reached Sam, book number 2 by Dustin Tao. I'm not sure I pronounced that properly. 10 of Chalices, feeling very strongly about this one. Like it's maybe it's only a duology, I don't know, but it's feeling very complete, and like they got this, I guess. Next up is Fake Skating, which I really appreciate the thing of, by Lynn Painter, which got 2 of Stakes. I don't know. Decisions. That name alone would make me want to vote for it. Well, it makes me want to read it anyway. The 6th book is Falling Like Leaves. This is by Misty Wilson, Bramble Falls, book number 1, so it's a new series. The Hierophant. Feeling like you learn a lot. No, like comfort, something that is traditional, something I'm trying to think of the word we use in the book world, the bookish world, where it's just like, either it's a comfort read because it's something you know, right? That might or may not be a good thing. Or maybe it's typical for this genre. Next up is Nobody in Particular. This is by Sophie Gonzalez. And I got an 8 of Stakes, so they're working pretty hard to get that to win. Then we've got Glorious Rivals, which to me looks very much stereotypical for what's popular. It's book 2 in the Grandest Game series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes that got a 9 of Chalices. A fun time is how they're feeling about that one. The penultimate is The Survivor Wants to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, who is very popular. This is book 2 and They Both Die at the End series, maybe duology, I don't know. And I got the 9 of Scythes. We're a little scared about this one. It's giving us nightmares, which I can see from that title. Last but definitely not least, we have We Fell Apart by E. Lockhart, which got a page of Scythes. I think I've heard that name before. And feeling kind of triumphant and smart. I mean, the Adam Silvera, definitely I could see doing well. The Hierophant, so what I had, like last year, I kind of had this like hierarchy in my brain about like, well, the major arcana means like probably more people are voting for those than others, depending on the major. And like the kings are probably better than, let's say, a page, or the likelihood, like, kind of like that. I'm not sure. The Thrashers, Julie, so I feel like I've heard about this one. And maybe I've heard of Julie Soto. I don't know. But I will say that is definitely a big contender. And a lot of people are really pushing for Dating and Dragons. But I don't know that it's going to make it with a pushback. You found Oliver, who are very confident. Like, maybe they're doing witchcraft to make it work. I don't know. I think I'd say strong contender is definitely the Thrashers. And what is this one again? Nobody in particular. That is a sapphic. I know less about these young adult fiction books than anything else, probably. Well, no, that's not true. But, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's gonna be either the Thrashers or You Found Oliver, in my opinion. Adam Silvera's book is very good. I just don't know if this is a great indicator. But we shall see. So those are, that's my reading for young adult fiction. Let's see adult fiction and how that will work out. Okay, so the next category is fiction, adult fiction. These are the book covers, and I'll be using the Herb Crafters Tarot this time. So, last year, I used this for my nonfiction category, but I forgot to mention this earlier. I kind of picked this deck because, or I picked the decks this year because the imagery kind of matched the imagery of the book covers in the categories. If you are a reader, you know that genres tend to have book cover trends that fit them. Last year, I think I picked the decks more based on the genre itself rather than the books that were nominated in the genre, if that makes sense. So let's get to it. Let's hop to it. The first book is These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean. And we got Adelita of Earth. Yucca. Move that over just a bit more. Adelitas, I hate when I trip in between accents. Adelitas are like knights. The knight equivalent. I had to remind myself of that. Making it happen, but moving slowly. The next one is We All Live Here by Jojo Moyes, who is, I've never read a Jojo Moyes book, but I know that name. Very prolific author. This is a bestseller author. The Chariot might be running away with it. The next book is The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. And I think that's a relative newcomer to this awards. Death Marigold. This matches the book cover, by the way, which is very interesting. I had to think about that one. I know it's a comeback. I don't know how prolific this author is, but this is not a debut novel. The next one is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. And they got Ace of Earth Nettle. I might move these over a bit, I think. Well, definitely grounded. That might be saying they are the epitome of what this category is. And then we've got The Names by Florence Knapp. We got the Madre of Fire. Madre is equivalent to Queens. Making it happen. The voters feel like this is something, a book that is that is making it happen. That is making things, is bubbling up, that voting. Next up, Wild Dark Shore by Scarlet McConaughey. I want to say McConaughey, but it's not quite the same as Matthew McConaughey, so no. Got a 10 of Fire. Another one cooking things up, but maybe not quite as experienced. They are feeling like, yeah, this might be the end of an era. They might have reached their limits. After that, we've got My Friends, which is by... Of course, you're blocking me. Frederick Brockman. Okay. A clear choice. A clear leader for this category. I've heard Frederick Brockman is a best-selling author. So not a very prolific one. This is like the foundation of this category. Next up is The Academy, which is by another best-selling author, a prolific one, Ellen Hildebrand. The Awakening, Tulsi. Ooh, so this would be a spiritual choice versus a practical one. If that makes sense. Oh, wait. So I'm reading, it says she teamed up with her daughter Shelby Cunningham. So, ooh, there's definitely a feminine versus masculine vibes here, but like something that went deep versus something that you're used to. You know how it's going to work, and that is why you picked that book. If that makes any sense. The penultimate is River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. And they got the 7 of Fire. Ooh. There's a lot of strong movement from several of these. Like, people feel like they've got to put in the work to make it happen. Last but not least is The 3 Lives of Kate K by Kate Fagan. Got the 3 of Earth, Raspberry. Well, that's a nice, refreshing change. I'll say that much. Who do I think will win? we've got some really strong names in here, first of all. Like, and it makes me want to be like, well, it's got to be one of the more prolific authors, the ones who are well-known names. But, does anyone else really? You have a 7 of fire, 10 of fire, 3 of earth. That death card is really, I mean, imagery-wise, it's very much sticking out. So the Emperor of Gladness is a possibility. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe he's making a comeback, and that is what we're trying to say. Like, the correspondent feels like, oh, this is the epitome. I feel like, I speak for everyone, while the Adelita of Earth is not really going too far. It's created something, the summer storms, but it's not getting too crazy. And then the 3 of Earth, a little refreshing. Lots of work have gone to it. I like how the 3 of Earth pops up for the 3 lives of Kate K. 7 of fire is okay. But I think if we're looking at the fires, definitely the Madre doing better than the others. The Adelita, no. Those two are I really feel like in this case it's definitely one of the majors. Alright, or do we go with someone with We All Live Here, who is powerful and action oriented, going places, but are they going far enough? Death, this rebirth, or do we go with, the tried and true methods for fiction, or something a little deeper? It's definitely one of these 4. I feel like Jojo Moyes is gonna come through with the oh wait, no, not Jojo Moyes, excuse me. Ocean Vuong. This is Jojo Moyes. I mean, that can also be like a no. I mean, it's definitely one of these 4. I just don't know which one. Maybe it is Jojo Moyes. I'm gonna put down We All Live Here by Jojo Moyes. I keep picking up the wrong pen. And The Emperor of Gladness by Vuong, and hope for the best, you guys. Let me know what your picks are in the comments down below, and we'll move on to the nonfiction category. Okay, here is our nonfiction book category, and the deck I'm using is the Lightseers Tarot. I again picked the Lightseers Tarot because it has kind of somewhat surreal imagery, as do a lot of these book covers. Not all of them, but a lot of the book covers in this category. So, let's start out with The New Age of Sexism, How AI and Emerging Technologies Are Reinventing Misogyny by Laura Bates. And you got the death, rebirth card, which is very interesting. Then we have Murderland, if I can Here we go. What's the full title there? Crime and Bloodlust in the Time of Serial Killers by Carolyn Fraser. We got the Strength card. Very interesting. So Laura Bates might be having a comeback here. Murderland, though. Very interesting. Is the Lamb overcoming or what? Definitely a prize-winning author here. Not afraid to show some vulnerability. Okay, the book I'm probably going to vote for, though maybe not because it's the only one I've read in this category. The Serviceberry, Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Got the Eight of Pentacles, and the voters are feeling like she worked very hard on this. I don't know that that is a game changer here, but that's what they're feeling with the Eight of Pentacles. Next up, we've got No More Tears, The Dark Secrets of Johnson & Johnson by Gardner Harris, who got a Nine of Swords, or which got, I should say. We're not voting on the authors, but the books, though some people do that. Let's see. Very interesting, very scary. I definitely feel that. I want to read it, but I don't want to read it, and so maybe that's what a lot of people are feeling. And wanting to confront this information and not wanting it out there. The fifth book is The Let Them Theory, a life-changing tool that millions of people can't stop talking about. Got a Three of Pentacles. A lot of work went into this. It's very obvious. Possibly very well researched, and I'm forgetting the term when you cite your sources. Well sourced. So people might be trusting that one a little bit more. Next, we have One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. This is by Omar El Akkad, another award-winning author here, and a journalist. Six of Cups. Do we feel bad about it or not, is the vibe I'm getting. Like, is this really inviting strong feelings? Or is this a worry about it later type of thing? And the next book is Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves by Sophie Gilbert. And that got a Nine of Pentacles. If you're new here, this is my favorite card in tarot. And this is one of my favorite ones in this deck. Look how beautiful that is. Anyway, I don't think people are too concerned about this. I say that as a black woman. So that's a little bit concerning. Or the next book is The Idaho 4, An American Tragedy by James Patterson. Ooh. I mean, James Patterson and prize-winning journalist Vicky Ward. I mean, I think people feel like justice or judgment will be coming, but as far as voting for this one, I don't know. It's like, maybe they feel like they should, but maybe they don't really want to. The penultimate book is Abundance by Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson, which got a Page of Wands, feeling very active. It's, well, once again, best-selling authors and journalists. Um, Last but not least, everything is tuberculosis, and personally, I feel like that's probably going to be the one to beat. It's got the Fool. People might be feeling like they're just gonna fall into this. Why not vote for it? Everything is tuberculosis, the history and persistence of our deadliest infection. I mean, we're a few years out from our last pandemic, and these types of things are still on people's minds. And as our vaccines, so maybe it's just like an easy win. Like, why not vote for that one? Strength, though, is Murderland. And people really like those, not murder mysteries, but true crime. There we go. So I'm feeling like it's going to be one of these two. Personally, death doesn't feel very positive here. So either Murderland or Everything is Tuberculosis is what I'm going to vote for in this category. We'll be back in a second with the next one, Romantasy. Here are our Romantasy book covers, and the deck I chose is the Good Tarot. Please excuse my washi tapes. I really do need to update some stuff here. There were marking spots for filming, but it's time for a clean off of my disc. Alright, Romantasy. This deck, the Good Tarot, screams Romantasy in its imagery to me, especially as you'll see in a second. So, the first book is the third in the Emily Wilde series. Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. She got the star. So, very hopeful. Very good outlook. I hope this is still on camera. Next up is Mate, which I do believe is the second book. Yes, in the Bride series by Allie Hazelwood, Queen of Waters. People are feeling very strongly about this one, and I'm not surprised. Romantasy is like a sub-genre, and so very popular right now. Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross has an 8 of Earth, so people are feeling it's very creative, very grounded, very a lot of work has gone into this. Next up is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. And this is the second book in that series. Or maybe they are a series of standalones, because it's not showing that it's a series. But by Sangu Mandana. So, not at all surprised. Maybe people... Does this not scream Romantasy? Maybe people feel there's a lot going on. Some people are mostly down for it. Others are still thinking about it. And the fifth one is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This is a new series, book number 1. Got the strength card. There's a lot of strength cards coming out this year. Let me make sure. Okay, cool. We are all on screen. These cards are huge. I have to double check. Okay, next up is another super popular sequel, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. And it's the 3rd book in the Empyrean series. Ooh, temptation. I mean, in a very literal sense here, people are very strongly tempted to just pick that. But we've got 4 more. The Knight and the Moth. Another new series, The Stonewater Kingdom. This is by Rachel Gillig. Queen of Fire. So, another queen here. Not to be underestimated. Then there is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. Another very popular author. Has a 10 of air. This is interesting. We've got more air here than... Well, that's not true. Maybe we're reaching the limits of what people have voted are going to vote for this with that 10 of air, but we shall see. The penultimate is Enchantra. By Kaylee Smith, book 2 in the Wicked Games series. It's got a 2 of Earth, which I find very serendipitous. Like, this is the 2nd book. I don't know. I like that when, like, I forget what category it was. And it was like the 3 of Earth and the 3 faces of somebody or the Kate something. That was pretty cool. 2 of Earth. Yeah, you know, we say it's a balancing act. Not what I would have assumed. Will they or won't they? Last but definitely not least, another super popular author and series, Accomplice to the Villain, book 3 in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Mirror. You know, I was doing this and I was like, you know, I've heard of this series and every book in it so much. I've never heard the author's name or seen it. It's crazy. Everybody just talks about the title of the books when referring to them. Wow. So, Shield of Sparrows has strength, which is pretty cool. This strength feels a little stronger than the other strength, if I'm being honest. But we also got Emily Wild's Compendium, which, I mean, those who are voting and then, like, very nicely, happily hoping and wishing and praying that other people vote as well. Then there are people super tempted to do Onyx and Storm and have given in to the temptation because why not? The call is Accomplice to the Villain. I mean, they might be putting the work out to have people vote. And then these queens, look at them. This is totally romantic-y vibes. I would have thought Mate would be the Queen of Fire. I'm just thinking about the book covers. I haven't read that series, so I'm interested. It's very vampire-y. She seems more vampire-like. But then Alchemized by Senlin Yu is really drawing people in as well. I think that this queen is definitely a strong contender. Alchemized, right? No, not Alchemized. Oh no, sorry. The Knight and the Moth, excuse me. Which is kind of surprising. But also brute strength for Shield of Sparrows. But should I, this is the thing I was going through last year as well, should I consider the popularity of certain books and authors? Because, some of these are sequels, and that pushes you more. And some of them, being sequels from very popular authors, so Onyx Storm, Emily Wilde, Mate, The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, Accomplice to the Villain. These are the ones that already have a step up. I mean, Senlin Yu might have some as well. Of these, I would say probably Onyx Storm. But of the ones I feel like are actually the strongest, maybe it's Accomplice to the Villain. So I'm going to say Accomplice to the Villain and, well, The Knight and the Moth are the most likely winners. This is a hard category because there are so many who are so very wow. But yeah, so we'll be back with our last category from me, history and biography. Here we are with the book covers for history and biography finalists for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and the deck I chose was the Radiant Rider-Waite Smith Tarot. Alright, so I chose this. I didn't know what to choose for this. There's a lot of close-ups on people's faces for this category. I just went with something historical looking, which is mostly traditional Rider-Waite Smith. I have the Radiant version, as I mentioned. The first book pulled a card for was Marriage at Sea, a true story of love, obsession, and shipwreck by Sophie Elmhurst. Got the Five of Swords. Yeah, some people are feeling it, some people aren't. That's not enough. Sisters in Science is the next book, and the one I'm probably most interested in reading myself. By Olivia Campbell. It's got the Page of Pentacles, so definitely digging down deep and maybe something new. Third up is Original Sins, the miseducation of Black and Native children and the construction of American Racism by Eve L. Ewing, Queen of Cups. So people are feeling very strongly about this. And we shall see. Because then we have... Oh, okay, here it is. So I don't see. Jane Austen's Bookshelf. A rare book collector's quest to find the women writers who shaped a legend by Rebecca Romney. Oh, interesting. This is kind of backed by reality TV. So, I don't know. Then we've got our fifth book is Mark Twain by Ron Chernow, Ten of Wands. I don't think people are feeling very great about that one. This might be too much thinking. This just overall too much to carry, though Ron Chernow is a Pulitzer Prize winning biographer, so maybe, but we're talking about Goodreads audiences here. However, Goodreads audiences who read history and biography, because people will not always vote in all the categories, just the ones they know, which, who knows if that's a good thing. The sixth book is Propaganda Girls, The Secret War of the Women of the OSS by Lisa Rogach, who this book got a 5 of Wands, so very contentious. It's fighting. I don't know that it's winning or going anywhere really. But we've got The JFK Conspiracy by Brad Meltzer, who got the Moon, and so even when I pulled this card, I laughed because it's the JFK Conspiracy, the secret plot to kill Kennedy and why it failed. This is definitely a Moon card type of book. The conspiracy, the shadow play, aspect, it's just assassination, things done in the dark. Totally a Moon card. I don't know how, I think people might feel like there's a lot going on with this book, but also intrigued. Next we have How to Kill a Witch, The Patriarchy's Guide to Silencing Women. Love that for us. By Claire Mitchell. It's being considered. And then the penultimate is Baldwin, A Love Story. This is by Nicholas Boggs. This came out earlier this year. I've seen other stuff with relation to this, just because I'm in New York City and he lived here majority of his life. Page of Cups. Well, we're learning. I think people are coming to some type of consensus with how they feel about this. But it's a bit tumultuous. Last but not least, The Cure for Women, Dr. Mary Putnam Jacoby, and the Challenge to Victorian Medicine That Changes Women's Lives Forever by Lydia Reeder. Interesting. King of Cups. Again, feeling a little tumultuous, but definitely more grounded, feeling more secure, like not running away with their feelings about this. I think the JFK conspiracy is a good contender. The original sins may also be but I'm thinking that the cure for women is something people are maybe a little bit more comfortable with. Maybe not. Because I'm looking at these waves here, and I'm like, maybe we're okay with making waves when we're talking about white people rather than black and indigenous ones. Something says it's one of these two. What did Mark Twain get again? 10 of Wands. Yeah, people feel like that might be too much, I guess. So, one of these two, I'm going to say. And that is the last category I will be doing. What do you think about my choices? Do you agree based on the 10 cards for each one? Let me know down in the comments below. You can come back and let me know what you think for each of those 5 categories. Reminder, it's young adult fiction, romantasy, history and biography, and nonfiction. I'm gonna give you a glimpse at my divination journal real quick. I don't like the way I did it. I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to do pull the cards. And I didn't leave myself a space like I did last time. And this is a bigger book. Like, I could have gave each category its own page. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. You guys, don't forget to go to the other channels. Brittany at Cosmic Lunar Soul is doing fantasy, sci-fi, YA fantasies and sci-fi, audiobooks, and horror, while Robin is doing mystery and thriller, romance, historical fiction, and debut author. Or debut books, I should say, or that's what they should have said, actually. So, if you're interested in more categories and what we pulled, go watch their videos. Brittany's is definitely out, depending on the time of day. Robin's is out, but again, their videos will be linked in the description. I'll list all of my decks. And yeah, we may or may not come back and discuss the winners. If you're new to Goodreads Choice Awards, the winners will be announced on December 4th, 2025, so we can find out if our predictions did the thing or not. Like, were they accurate or not? Why or why not? Do we think so? So, I'll let you know if we decide to do something with regards to that. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Link to my my Storygraph. I don't really use Goodreads that much anymore. I mean, you can go to it, but yeah. Also link to my Patreon and my Etsy shop and a 10% off discount code where I offer tarot and oracle card readings. and my Patreon, where I have exclusive reading videos. Also linked to last year's Goodreads Choice Awards prediction video. So if you want to see more stuff like this, I don't know when the next time I'll do an award show is, because I've now done a lot of them in 2 years, but we shall see. Maybe I'll do the Grammys again. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.